Hi everyone and welcome back to your final maths lesson for this week. Today we are focusing on place value. So as I said yesterday, we are moving away from our fractions and we are going to start to learn to count to 100. Some of you still are a little bit unsure of numbers up to 50, so please keep working on them as well as going on to 100 with me. Okay, you should be counting daily from 0 to 100 just to get yourself confident by going forwards and backwards, okay? So, all you're going to need today is pencils and paper, and you are going to need to begin with your flashback 4. So again, like usual, please stop the video after every part you have finished. So, let's have a quick look at this statement. Teddy has made 62. Do you agree or disagree with him? So is it true or is it false? Please stop the video now and explain your answers. You could possibly draw out a diagram to show what is true and what is false if you would like. So you could prove it. So Teddy has made 6 and 2. So if I go back, these are 10 frames. So Teddy has made 6, 7, 8. Teddy has only made 8 in total, because 6 add 2 is equal to 8. So he has not made 62. To make 62, Teddy needs 6 full 10 frames and then 2 ones in his last 10 frame. So well done if you've managed to prove that at home. So let's begin by looking at our problem of the day today. So count out 52 counters. So you are going to now need to go and get some objects, quite a lot of objects. You might need to use some pasta, some Lego, or something for you to use that you have quite a lot of. Okay, so count out 52 counters. How did you count them? And then Part B is asking, how many more pieces of litter does Gabby need to collect before she goes back to the park manager? So as you can see in the picture, they are collecting rubbish from their local field because we don't like seeing lots of mess in our field and we like to recycle. So Gabby has found 52 pieces, as you can see. But the manager is saying to bring the litter to me each time you collect 10 pieces. So she's got 52. How much more does she need to get to the next whole 10? So please stop the video now while you are solving that question. I'm going to solve it on the next page. So let's have a look. Count out 52 counters. Lots of you would have counted them in ones. But what you could have done is count them and group them like we did before into groups of 10. So how many groups of 10 would we have needed? Well done, we would have needed 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 10. And then we would have needed 2 extra to show the extra 2 here. So well done if you did that at home. So we know that Gabby had 52 to begin with. To get to the next 10, we would have had to fill in the last 10 frame to get to the next 10, which was 60. So if we had 2 plus what gives me 10? Well done, 2 plus 8. So if I filled it in, I would have needed 8 more counters to get to my next 10, which was 60. So again, well done if you solved that at home. So let's have a look at these footballs. Can you represent them using a 10 frame and counters? So instead of using counters, you might want to use objects at home. So you're going to have to draw out the 10 frames to represent how many footballs there are. I'm now going to do it on the next page. So we are looking at groups of. So in each group, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've put a whole 10 frame underneath to represent. Do I need to count 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20? Or could I find a different way to count? Fantastic at home if you said I could use a different way. I could count in groups of 10. So I can go 10, 20, 30. And that's a lot quicker to count. Okay, so all in all, there's 3 groups of 10, which is equal to 30. I would now like you to do this one at home. So can you show a way of representing this using a quick method? of counting. Please stop the video and I'm going to go through it on the next page. So again, I've used 10 frames, but I could have used a number line as well. So I could have used a blank number line. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups. So on there, what I'm going to do is I am going to do my jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in every jump, I am adding 10. So if I start at 0, which I do with my blank number line, and I'm going to write 10. Now I'm going to add another 10, which will give me 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. So you can see I'm counting in tens, and every time I am adding 10, as you can see. So that is a quick way to solve the problem on the board. But before we started, you need to make sure you have counted how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 in one group. So that's what is important before you start. So I have 6 groups of 10, which is 60. And you can see again, I've used the 10 frames to show you too. So your activity now is to solve this question. How many footballs are there? Can you represent them using 10 frames, a number line, counters, however you think is best to solve this question? The second part of the question is here, which is the extension. How many would there be if 10 more were added, or if there was 10 less? Please stop the video now while you solve this question. So I'm now going to introduce you to a 100 grid square. We have mostly focused in school on using number lines, but when we are counting on numbers that are above 30, it's quite hard to use a number line because it will be too long. So what we use is a thing called a 100 grid square. So let's have a look at my 100 grid square. We're going to count forwards from 51. So the first thing I need to do is to have a look where I would find 51. So I'm going to have a look in my tens column here, and I'm going to count down until I get to 50. Here, 50. So now I'm going to go to my next one, which starts here, and then it goes back to the beginning under here. So this is 50, and I'm going to count on till I get to 63, which is here. So please count along with me at home. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, and then I go back to the beginning, 61, 62, 63. So I'm now going to ask you to continue counting forwards from 72 to 84 and counting forwards from 86 to 98 using the 100 grid square. So I'm going to move it over so we can get rid of these out of the way. If you would like, you could go to Google and you could use Splat. So if you type in Splat grid to 100, there is a fun activity that you could use there. Okay, so that's another way you could count forwards. Okay, and it is the same thing if we do it backwards. So you're going to start on 75, so I need to find 75 first. I'll change the color. Where is 75? So 70, I can go to 80 and I can work backwards. Here we go, 75, and I want to get to what number? 62, which is here. This time we're going to go backwards, and once we get to 71, we need to go back to the other side and then continue working over. So count with me, please. 75, 74, 73, 72, 71, 70, 69, 68, 67, 66, 65, 64, 63, 62. You are now going to continue counting backwards from 87 to 77 and from 100 to 85. Okay? If you would like, you can have your mums and dads record you doing this, and then you could send us a video of your fantastic counting forwards and backwards. So now I'm going to ask you to continue using the 100 grid square to answer the following questions. What would be great is if you could create your own 100 grid square for yourself. You could decorate all of the outside, and then you can use that on any of the work that we are doing in the next couple of weeks. So question 1, question 2, question 3, and question 4. So I've put the 100 grid square down the bottom for you if you haven't made your own, to help you with completing the number tracks. And then finally for today, I would like you to think about the following question. Correct the mistakes in the sequence and explain why they are correct. So you've got 1, 2, 3 questions to think about. And I want you to write an explanation for each one of why that pattern of numbers is incorrect. And I look forward to seeing all your fantastic work uploaded onto Tapestry. Bye, everyone.